here has heard about genome editing? Perhaps some of you biology majors know exactly what I am talking about, but as for me, as a marketing major, I had to do some research and figure out exactly what this was. So according to the National Human Genome Research Institute article, genome editing is a method that lets scientists change the DNA of organisms. So it can be changed in animals, and it can also be changed in humans. So today, I will be persuading you that genome editing is unethical, immoral, and it should not be considered. Genome editing sounds wonderful, but when your child does not turn out to be perfect, the perfect, healthy child that you expected, what will your response be? The problem is that when selecting a child's genetics, you expect a perfect child, but science can't always guarantee effectiveness, especially with something so new as genome editing. And genome editing is known to cause unwanted side effects. According to Jennifer Almstrom in her 2018 article titled "New Study Finds Potential Hazards of Gene Editing," she states, "A new study has found some potentially harmful unintended side effects, including large deletions and complex arrangements." So from strictly medical scientific point of view, genome editing has been defined as misguided, premature, unnecessary, and totally useless. Choosing a child's genes does not only affect one child, it also affects future generations. The reason that this happens, or before I go to that reason, I want to mention that in order for genome editing to take place, DNA needs to be cut from the DNA. DNA needs to be cut out of an embryo. So if a doctor is working on an embryo, trying to change DNA, trying to make a child a certain way, they need to cut out pieces or parts and pieces of DNA in order to do this. So as mentioned before, deletion of DNA may occur, may cause protein to malfunction. So according to National Human Genome Research Institute, proteins play a variety of roles in the cells. They include structural, mechanical, biochemical, and cell signaling functions in the body. So if protein malfunction fails in the body, this child will grow up with serious body issues since birth, and these things could have been prevented if the parent had not chosen to move forward with genome editing. So the main problem with this, and it's very unfortunate, is that the side effects are not the only issue, but the changes in DNA get passed on from generation to generation. And so that means that all future generations from this one child will end up suffering from the same body malfunctions or same sicknesses and issues. Because when genome editing is decided by the parent wants to take away sicknesses. They want to take a certain trait. And when this is done, they actually, yes, they may take away that trait or that sickness, but they are also adding more problems to this child and to its future generations, which is very sad because it's not like those children chose that, it was chosen for them. And choosing a child's DNA is also very costly. that only a small percentage of the world's population could benefit from this if it were to ever be beneficial. The cost of the treatment ranges from $500,000 to $1.5 million. And on top of that, there is medication in the amount of $750,000. That is only for year one. And after that 1 year, the medication cost is followed by $375,000 for life. So this child that is born with all these mutations, all these changes onto its body, will need to be on medication for life. So what kind of life are they giving this child? You know, what kind? It's not a happy life. It's just basically a life set up for suffering. And with these outrageous prices, we can see that only the rich would be able to benefit from this, and which would be very sad if genome editing was ever to be beneficial, which at this point it is not. And at this point, any experimenting or any changes on embryos should be stopped. There are many reasons to avoid using genome editing, and you can just find them all if you just inform yourself. The only solution to stop this is just to do your own research. Trying to create the perfect child can come with serious side effects, like I mentioned before, with all the things that can go wrong after messing with the proteins that's found in the DNA. It can cause for many things to go wrong that would be necessary for human survival if these new DNAs get passed on. You know, we don't want things to basically end human survival. So the solution is to do your research about how genome editing is moving along, how it is as of now unethical and useless, like other doctors have mentioned. So the outcome would be for no science involvement. If parents decide for nature to take its course and they just let the child be born and be who they were meant to be, it is less likely that they will have any problems growing up. According to Ingrid Lobo in her article titled Birth Defects, Causes and Statistics, she mentions that only 6% of infants worldwide are born with a defect. So having a child must be such a wonderful experience. I don't know, I don't have a kid myself, but I can only imagine how happy I will be when I begin to have my own family. So let's make sure to keep it that way. Let's make sure we let nature take its course, and we just let our children be who they are meant to be without us parents making any decisions for them, you know, while they're still not even born. So to conclude, I hope that this speech has opened your eyes to the dangers of genome editing. Genome editing has a very long way to go, but doctors refuse to believe that and continue to experiment on embryos. So please say no to genome editing.